crazier than this. Opie Smith is here. Man, I don't know what he's gonna say, but I'm gonna keep quiet for this one. Hey, thank you all very much. It's been a while, I know, but I just needed to collect myself. You can understand that. Just need to gather my thoughts. I need to sit back, I just need to kind of reassess the deal. It's been a dark 3 months, people. Every day, whether it was sunshine or the pouring rain, it felt like overcast. It didn't seem like anything was ever going to get better for me. Everything I tried to keep in the span of 2 weeks, completely lost. And you see, the thing is, my entire time here, whether it was an ABW, to here in ABWF, I really didn't know where life was going to take me. I never really knew what was in front of me. I lost a lot of things. I had a lot of things carrying me up out of the abyss. But all in all, nothing was ever certain. And I hung on to hope as much as I could. But all hope was lost for me on December 31st at the wild card. That was the night I truly realized that all I had was gone. And I still haven't fully processed the things that happened and the things that were said. It was the last thing I ever wanted to happen, you know? Last thing. Y'all can call me dramatic. You can call me a crybaby. Say whatever you want to say about me. Truth is, you guys don't understand. You don't understand a thing about this. You saw the bitter end of it, but y'all never really got the full picture. And I usually tend to keep personal business to myself, but tonight I am truly trying to rediscover who I am, and I am trying to move on. I'm trying to move past what went down, to move past everything I once knew about this world. The world ain't kind to all. And for O.P. Smith, the world gave me the bitter end of the stick since the day I was born. And y'all don't know anything about that, so let me just give you all what you need to hear. Why don't I tell you a story about my life? A story that is very difficult to tell, a story that is very difficult to hear if you were ever in my shoes before. I was raised as a young boy to smile, be kind to everybody, and always put my hand out to those in need of a lift. I gave my heart to all. 99% of people never gave their heart back. I was bullied all my life, called many names, and beaten up many, many times. I had zero friends from the day I entered education to the day I dropped out of high school. Never truly experienced happiness. Never truly experienced having friends. There were two things in life that kept me from letting my dark thoughts get the better of me. One was my mom. The other was professional wrestling. I knew every Monday night, after I had to go through the same old routine, I had something to look forward to, something to enjoy in life. My mom always kept that on TV every single week, always reminding me, I'm a fighter and I will win this battle. And sooner rather than later, I will see light at the end of the dark tunnel. And after years of seeing the good and the bad in people in pro wrestling, all the experiences I had, hell, even a little bit of good was good enough for me. I knew that this was it. I had nothing else. I wanted nothing more than to perform, to be cheered just a little bit, just for once, just to feel good, just to do what I love, show all those people that made my life a living hell that I'm the one on top of the world now. I miss her. Without her support, without her guidance, I wouldn't be here. I'd be dead. I dropped out of high school. Got my GED. And I went to wrestling school. Hours away from where I lived every day. To do the only thing I ever loved in life. I met a lot of guys, a lot of folks, with one foot on the way out to a legitimate promotion, some struggling, some with the same stories. I met a lot of guys that reminded me of my experiences in high school. I met a lot of politicians. I met a lot of people that reminded me just why I wanted to leave this planet. And then I met Jay Vice. The only guy that ever truly took a liking to me. The only guy that saw something in me as a human being. A guy that didn't have any similarities with me in terms of how they grew up, but a guy that gave me his smile and put his hand out to me when I was in need of a lift. The only guy that ever called me a friend when he didn't have to do that. Jay Vice took me under his wing. Jay Vice made my life better, man. Jay Vice's aspirations were always just to go be a world champion. But he wanted me to be there too. He wanted me to be by his side. He wanted me to be there because I was his friend. Jay took me out of a place that was dark. Jay gave me his heart and his hand, and he took me with him. Took me under his wing. He trained me every day, and he told me, let's be tag champs someday. Hell, let's rule the world someday. Just me and you. I couldn't believe what I was hearing, man. I couldn't believe a single word of it. Life was on the way up. Life was getting better for me. Life was getting better for me because I finally experienced friendship. The first time in my life, I smiled. I had happiness. Everything was going well. One of the coolest guys I ever met, man, and that was the guy that took me under his wing and called me a friend. All was going well until my mother passed away. Came home from wrestling school. I found her on the ground, lifeless. I looked down at her and I didn't know what to do. Because without her, there was no me. Without her, there was no Opie Smith. And at the funeral, everyone else that came left, and I stood there and I looked at the tombstone. Not a word could come out of my mouth. I didn't go to wrestling school for that time. I didn't do anything for that time. I just sat, I collected myself, And I stood there at that tombstone, and I didn't think I was ever going to leave. I was considering just dying right there as well. And I felt someone's arm wrapping around my shoulders. And that was Jay. Well, I did not expect to be here at the funeral. Jay looked at me and he told me something I never forgot. No one else ever. He told me, your mom may be gone, but she'll be looking down at you and she will smile at what she sees. I'll make sure that I love you. That's what he told me. From that day forward, that man was my best friend. That man, me and him were arm to arm. We fought everybody, did everything together. Jay gave everything to me, even though he had absolutely no reason to. He was there for me every step of the way. And without him, I wouldn't be standing in the middle of this ring right now. Deep down, in my insecure little heart, I just knew this was all too good to be true forever. I had a feeling this wouldn't last forever, because nothing ever has gone right in my life. There's always 2 steps back, 1 step forward. And I feel as if my own insecurities were one of the reasons why I am where I am today. Who I am must have finally got to him. Me, trying my hardest to reassure that no matter what direction he went in, I was always there to back him up, always there to fight with him, always there to make sure he knows who he is, because we were a double package in his own words. And I'd like to believe the things he said weren't true, but I'd be living in a lie. I'd continually be living in a lie. And damn it, I could tell he meant all that with his heart. I watched it all. I heard what he had to say. I'm sure it was a long time coming. I just never wanted it to be true. Damn it, I have to live in this timeline. Damn it, life could never give me my break. Damn it, it's always got to go bad for Opie Smith. I know she isn't looking down at me and smiling. Mom, I promised you that no matter what, I would live by your morals. I would live by your teachings. I promised you that I would continue to live. And I know you were scared for my well-being. And I know if I did what he wanted me to do, I would lose, and that I'd be a liar. And I lost a lot, but I never forgot who I was. And Mom, Wherever you are, I'm sorry. But I just can't keep smiling. I can't keep pretending like it's gonna be okay. Because the truth is, this is a grisly world. This is an unforgiven life. This is how it is. Jay Vice, the one thing that we loved is the one thing that tore us apart. The only person that changed between me and you was you. You, for once a beacon of hope in a corrupt land of gritty monsters, Jay. You showed me and all of us how to be. You were the role model for us all, Jay. And that ABWF championship you clung on to was the poison. I stood next to you through it all, trying to remind you of who you were, trying to fight with you, to remind you who you were, and you threw it all away with greed. You were once a fighter, then you became obsessed with nothing else but remaining the guy, and you clung on to it, and your insecurities made you angry, and you let it all out on the one guy that you knew would take it. And all I tried to do was continually remind you of who you were. All I wanted to do was just have a best friend. So when you say that I was doing this all for myself, you're not that wrong, Jay. I just wanted to be happy, man. I just couldn't see you slip away. I reached my hand out to you so many times, and so many times you looked back up at me and you stayed down there in your little pool of insecurity. I tried so hard, so goddamn hard just to be there for you. And no matter what I did, no matter what I did for you, it didn't matter anymore. I just didn't want to believe that the Jay that made my life better died. And you call me a cancer. Jay, that world title was your cancer. Jay, you want me to kill myself, Jay. Fuck you, Jay. I loved you, man. I loved you. And you just didn't love me back, Jay. For 20 years you gave me your heart. You gave me your friendship. You gave me a life I wasn't supposed to have. And you threw it all away. You replaced me. You wanted me gone, and I just couldn't accept that. You broke my heart into a million pieces. You broke me. You hurt me real bad. And hurt people do bad things, Jay. But the thing is, I don't see a problem doing bad things to bad people. Because you know what, Jay? You know what you are? You know what else you are? You're a two-faced, backstabbing, selfish, worthless, horrible excuse for a human being, and sooner rather than later, I am going to beat you like a bitch. Because now, no matter what happens, I am truly a careless man. It's a real good idea, Jay, that you set up a new wall around your ass. Because you're gonna need time to prepare for what happens to you. You're gonna need to stall. And I may lose myself in all of this. I may lose who I truly am in all of this. But the truth is, I am used to losing. And you created a man that once had everything to lose into a man with nothing left but one dying wish to himself. And that wish is to fight, 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 fight until you can smile again. And when I'm done with you, for the first time in forever, I will smile again. I will fight for every time you made me uncertain of my happiness. I will pay every cent back of pain that you caused me. Call me the IRS. Your taxes are due, you son of a bitch. I will make you pay, and I will do all of this alone. That means one thing, but it may seem like I'm alone on the mountain. Nobody else to help, but the thing is, through the process, through my grief, I realized something I should have realized a long time ago. Who needs friends anyway? When I've got family all around me. And that is each and every one of you. Let's get down to that friendship thing. Because there's another person I haven't mentioned just yet, not in full, and his name is Stan Van CISE. Stan Van CISE likes to run around and pretend like what he did that same night Jay let out his grievances. Yeah, he did it all just for me all along. Like he didn't do that in the spur of the moment to try and get his comeuppance on the top star and move on to be a world champion with his momentum. And look, you may all be blind to what's going on, but the truth is, Stan Van CISE is a liar. Stan Van CISE wants all of you to believe it was all a well thought out move of kindness to show that he was truly my friend all along. And I'm sure it's easy for you to assume it was all true. Stan is, and you know this, Stan is a terrific liar after all. But he isn't a terrific strategist in any way, shape, or form. So Stan, cut the bullshit, do me a favor, take your loss you had, go hang out with Warjack, and stay out of this. Because they may believe this huge stick that you did, I don't believe that shit for a second. And I have zero interest in being at all a friend to you. I have no apologies, I have no fucks. This is between me and Jay, and I will do this all by myself. Because ladies and gentlemen, it don't matter where I'm going, this is where the real fun begins. Opie, I understand it's hard to believe. I understand you're frustrated and that you have a hard time trusting anybody nowadays. And look, I don't blame you, man. I don't blame you. I don't. It doesn't seem like you heard what I had to say. I was hoping you did. I was hoping you'd understand what I had to do. Man, I don't give a shit, man. I don't care. You did all of that, huh? To a guy that you barely knew. A guy you had zero relationship with. Oh yeah, you did all that for the better, the greater good. All you did was sell your soul and make your mark when the time was right, Stan. Opie, like I said, I was hoping you would have heard me out when I spoke on it. You see, Warjack understood. And you remember that whole thing I had with him last year? I had to do that same thing too. I don't know what it will take for you to believe me. Like, why would I have gone into that 1-on-3 war by myself anyway? Why wouldn't I have just attempted to move on after I'd made my mark? I wanted to take him down. I wanted to pull you over that stump of depression, Opie. I wanted to show you what a real friend was. Whether what I did was overboard or not. Nothing was ever going to get to you unless someone took extreme measures, and you know that. Everyone told you Jay didn't care about you, and everybody was right, and you didn't listen to any of them. And so you gave me no choice but to do it the hard way. Nobody made you do anything, Stan. I know! It was my choice! I know I didn't have to do it. I know what you think, why I did it. Okay? You gave me no other option but to get personal, but to get deep. Okay? I don't care what you think, Opie. I'm being as genuine as I can be. I understand why you can't believe it, but you gotta understand that I never had to do any of that to be fine in my career. I had confidence that I'd be fine on the way out. I risked a lot of trust with them anyway. I risked a lot of trust with your family, Opie. Because you're right, these people are your family. They always had your back. And these same people believe my story. They saw it all for themselves. You're telling me these people in unison made a bad decision? I'm not blaming them. Like I said, Stan, you're a terrific liar. You've never been genuine a day in your life. And these people just can't see that. And I don't blame them. You see what you just did? You brought them into this. To try and lure me into your bullshit, to get me to believe you. You know damn well this was all for you. Don't say another word, Stan. Not until I'm done. Matter of fact, I don't want to hear another word. You shouldn't have come out here. If you truly respected me, if you truly gave a shit, you would have done what I told you to do minutes ago. I don't care to be your friend. Opie, maybe we don't need to be friends then. Maybe I made a mistake in how far I took it. I understand, but at least understand what I tried to do for me and you. I just wanted Jay to feel the same way he made you feel for 2 years. I wanted to pay him back. I wanted to send him out. I wanted to take his legacy and burn it. Because I was your replacement. I was his Opie at the end of it. I wanted to do all of that and celebrate with you. You're right, this isn't my fight. You're right. It never should have been. I took matters into my own hands when I didn't have to. I should have moved forward immediately. I know what it looks like. I know you want to do this yourself. I know the concept of friends is way behind you. But just know, no matter how you feel about me, in my heart, I'll always consider you a friend to me, okay? I don't care if you hate my guts. I did all of that for a reason. Did it for you. I did it because you deserve a true friend. Makes sense, Stan. Makes total sense. But yeah, go ahead. Yeah. Say all that and go ahead. Have your match with POINTMAN. Keep fighting my fight. You know deep down why you did all of this, you lying little bitch. I don't give a damn what you say. Stay away, or we're gonna have a problem.
Oh man.
What we just witnessed was a huge turn